So like if I graduate, I'll go this way. Until I don't. I've never done it before. I don't know.
I think it works like that.
It does?
I believe so.
All right. We're good?
We are. We're ready. We're live.
All right. Everybody knows this is I was about to say Pillow Talk. Pillow Talk with Josh and Corey has been moved to Mondays due to the fact that Corey is unreliable on Sundays. We love him, so we're going to move it to Mondays. Sundays, we still have this time to fill. I'm going to do a week in review. Every week I'll review, the podcasts, the things that have happened with the Traveling Drunks, and occasional news in the sports world. I don't watch sports, but I like sports news. A lot happens with these podcasts. Sometimes it's too much, so we got to review highlights every now and again. You can't watch every time there's a community cast. You're not going to sit and watch all 2.5 hours. So I'll do that for you and pick out what I feel is worthy to watch. But this is always DJ Stretch, myself, Josh. Stretch is always. Love this. Oh, that's right. Ian's going to be taking your spot on Mondays, right?
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, that's a highlight. That should be interesting.
I look forward to watching him now.
Because, that's fair enough. I'm interested as to what's going to happen. We are doing that tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Okay. And here or?
That'll be here.
That'll be here? Okay.
Because I have to be here. So.
And what time are we doing that?
I mean, it depends on what time you guys want to roll.
Okay, so we'll figure it out, play it by ear. Keep in tune with Traveling Drunks. We'll post it on the page on Facebook to make sure that everybody knows what's going on. So I want to cover some highlights that have happened within the week. We have opened up our phone line, which I think is right here.
A little bit over.
This way?
Over to the other side.
Oh, the other way, this way?
Yeah.
Right there. Got it? We got whatever.
Yeah.
408T Drunks.
It's up there.
We got the phone line. I still have not learned where it is, but it's up. We have people calling out. It's a thing. I feel like people are afraid to call in and explain themselves, and I worry about that. Hold on one second. What, Alexa? Is she dancing over there for no reason?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Do you have something to say? No? All right. Bye. Yeah, okay. Anyways, so we have a phone call. I think people should be able to call in and explain themselves. And don't feel afraid to explain yourself. I look like a fool almost every time on this podcast, and I don't give a shit. You shouldn't either. So here's some of the things that happened this week, because I went back and reviewed some of the podcasts. I watch them as I can just to see how much of a fool I am and make sure that people aren't going to kill me tomorrow over something I said drunkenly online that everybody watches. So we did a couple things I thought were nice this week. We revisited the Cougar. I can't even say it. The Cougar Cuckler. What was his name? I don't remember his name, but he was a cool guy.
Top.
Yes, Top. Yeah. We revisited the Cougar Cuckler. That was interesting. Anytime he's around, I like that guy. He has, he's got that. He's got like the southern accent, so you think he's an idiot.
But then he's not.
He's not really an idiot.
So he shocks you.
Yeah, listening to him talk is always fun, so I like that. If anybody missed it, we did learn, quite obviously, thank you very much, appreciate you, that Corey is easily distracted, mostly by females. Do you need a drink? Too late? So that hence the podcast being moved. I mentioned that already. So the Pillow Talk is on Monday. As Corey gets easily distracted. It's something we're learning. We're learning here at the Traveling Drunks podcast.
We're learning a little on the fly, but
we have to. We pick it up. We discussed Soren's quote-unquote emergency scooter departure, which actually wasn't a thing. Which leads me to realize that Scott Snipes never explained how he would be qualified to save us in any sort of a gunfight situation or anything like that. So I was hoping that maybe next week on the review I can recant his qualifications, because I haven't heard any yet. So I'm still waiting for him to explain himself on that.
Then you could call in.
Right, or call in, or whichever, however, even leave a comment. Just put his resume on the comments. I don't care, just something.
We just wanted to know, because he said he was an EMT and a firefighter.
I mean, we're not going to call him if he's not really qualified. We don't need another drunk standing there being like, oh, just stick a pin in his liver. I saw this on Batman once. Like, I'm okay with that.
Or, I know CPR. I learned it from a Bee Gees song.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. The community casts are getting. The way I wrote it down is community casts are getting people's goat. What I presume I mean by that is people like it. People like the community casts. I think they like to be on them more than they like to watch them.
I think that's true.
Yeah, and I think that's I don't want to say it's a problem because we like to have everybody on, but it brings up the topic of having cohesive members on the podcast. And if you're a person watching the podcast and you're not happy with what you're watching, let us know and we'll work to change it. Because we do want to. We're happy to have you guys here. I also on the subject of touring, I learned the difference between a scooter and a moped today for the first time. I feel like I'm speaking really fast for some reason. Maybe it's because I'm worried about like the amount of time that we have.
Oh, we got plenty of time.
I'm sure we do. I think I went through like most of my talking points for the podcast at least. One of my favorite things that I learned. This may not be funny to everybody else, but I noticed that Stretch does not mind being stroked.
Not at all.
And JD wants me to stroke him, which I didn't know was a thing until this week. So that's a recap. I'm happy to go about here. And that's right. I got regular news on here. I'm glad you're wearing all your Giants attire because I want to bring this up to you.
Okay, here we go. I have a feeling where this is going.
Yeah, I wrote this down, and it made when I was reading this story, it made me laugh. I thought it was pretty fucking funny. Because it's like a play off of the whole Peyton Manning or whoever it is, fucking Deflategate thing. So
No, that'd be Tom Brady.
Oh, whatever. I don't fucking know. It's Eli Manning's the Giants.
Eli Manning's the man who beat him despite Deflategate, right?
Fair enough. Okay. So
Twice, like you beat the Cowboys this year.
When did the Giants? Well, fuck the Cowboys. I don't want to talk about the Cowboys.
Yeah, why did I bring that up?
I don't even care if they won today. Like it doesn't bother me. Fuck them.
No, they lost.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, we beat them.
Who told me that they won?
No, the Cowboys lost today.
Somebody just told me that the Cowboys won.
Some idiot, maybe.
Maybe. They were probably a Cowboys fan.
That makes sense.
America's team?
America's typically stupid, right?
Well, I mean, statistically speaking, yeah, we are pretty low in the educational rate. But on the subject, though, so the Giants played the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't remember when that was. Sometime last week.
That was last week.
What day was that?
It was Sunday.
Sunday? Okay. I'm sure you seem a little upset to bring this up.
I
realize it was quite a loss. What I have written down here is 24-14. That's I mean, it's a low-scoring game, so at least it was probably a good one to watch.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
It was not.
Well, maybe as a Giants fan, it wasn't. I didn't watch it myself because I don't give a fuck. But I did some research on it, and apparently the Giants they had tested their balls that they had on the sidelines after the game, and they tested their footballs on the sidelines. They were the two that they had tested below NFL regulation PSI, so they sent them to the league office. That's what they did. There's a whole debate about this, I guess, with the reporters asking the NFL to comment on it. The Giants are like, this is what we did. And, there was never any official thing. What the NFL said, and this is a quote here from the NFL office, the officiating game ball procedures were followed and there were no chain of command issues. All footballs were in compliance and no formal complaint was filed by the Giants with our office. I've found this fact on NBC.com. I don't know how reputable that is, but I presume they fact-checked things. They ran this story by the Giants, and the Giants expressed, I guess, I don't want to quote anybody on that one because I don't know, but basically what they said is that we noticed a difference and we sent them to the office. We didn't make a formal complaint, but we're kind of concerned about this as an issue. Do you feel that deflated balls might have had something to do with that game?
No.
How do you stand by your team's disgruntlement, I guess you could say?
And then the Patriots are cheaters.
That microphone's not on, Gil.
No, I mean, this was a regular season game. I imagine it was probably just one or two balls.
Okay,
nothing big here.
Do you think so? It's probably just a media hype type story, like let's pump it up. But it came from somewhere, obviously.
It did. I mean, people might say that we ratted out like the Steelers, but I don't think it's something like that.
I mean, I wouldn't think that the Giants are the type of team to do it, to be honest.
But I mean, it was saying that the Steelers did it, and the Giants filed a complaint, correct?
Yeah, I mean, they weren't saying necessarily that anybody did it. They were just saying that they were deflated. So it seems to me like a sore loser kind of thing. Like, oh, look, wait, these balls are deflated, and I think we can run with this because of the whole Peyton Manning thing or whatever, whoever it was.
It was Tom Brady.
Whatever.
But I mean, the thing about that is, if a ball is deflated, it's harder to knock it out, so you get less fumbles.
Okay. So you think it'd be better to have the balls deflated a little bit?
It's to your advantage if you're a running back. If you're running with a ball and it's deflated, you can grip it tighter.
Well, that makes sense. So it's not so recoiling.
Yeah.
So
it's like gripping this glass as opposed to gripping like a pillow.
Okay. It's easier to grip a pillow.
Yeah.
Unless you use your teeth, and then it's a weird kind of day.
Then you're biting pillows.
Sure hurt. But you're gripping it with your teeth. Anyways, this one's a little more morbid. I wanted to bring that up because I thought I'd make you feel a certain way about something real quick. When I saw it, I was like, oh, it's going to be a stretch on with me here. I'm going to have to bring this one up. I like this one.
Hey, I'm happy today. You couldn't bring me down from this cloud.
But what if it turns out that, I guess that wouldn't bring you down anyways. I was going to say if it turns out that they did deflate the balls, that would just be better for the Giants. So then you have more.
Hey, we're still on the playoff run, and then we'll figure it out if you guys win the Super Bowl.
Fair enough. Okay, this is another one. I was always under the assumption that Will Smith was like a movie producer or a movie actor and like a shitty singer in the 90s or whatever.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, well, apparently he was a defensive end for the New Orleans Saints.
That is also true.
Yeah, recently got shot. And,
Two different guys, but yes.
Yeah, what was it? Yeah, no, I know that now. But I actually pulled up the thing because I was like, oh, Will Smith's in a murder trial? Let me see what's up with that. And then, no, it wasn't that. That microphone's off, sir. That's a good idea. Just leave it there to see who comes up and talks into it.
And then set the camera up with it?
Yeah, just so you can see them go to talk into it, but they really don't. See, we can review. We figured that's an idea.
I can do that, and I'm doing that right now.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right, good shit. So this is not such a happy story, I guess, because somebody got killed. But as I was reviewing the story and writing down facts that I thought were interesting and topic points and whatnot, I found a lot of aspects of it that are pretty funny. So pardon me, I want to pretext this story by saying pardon me for laughing about certain points of it because I'm going to. I actually wrote down a couple jokes with it, but
there we go.
Not really the point. Okay, he died at 34 years old on April 9th. When was this?
That's my mom's birthday, actually.
That's your mom's birthday?
Yeah, April 9th.
Yeah. Okay, well, Will Smith died on your mother's birthday, so I guess you're not a Saints fan, obviously.
Not at all.
Obviously, but yeah, I'm not a fan of any of them. So what first struck me as interesting is that as of December 11th, which was yesterday technically, because now it's Monday.
Yes.
But as of today, Sunday, when I wrote this down, I guess, their trial was over. I thought, well, the jury's in deliberation, but I thought murder trials lasted longer than that. What is that? I forgot months. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September,
8 months later?
Oh, that is kind of a long time, actually. All right, that's fair enough. I should have done that math before.
Unless you're like judging off like the OJ trial.
Well, I mean, yeah, kind of. But that took for a while. There was a lot of stipulations.
Really long time.
But do you know anything about this story that I'm talking about?
I know bits and pieces. I know it was built up off of a bump and run kind of a deal.
Something like that, essentially. That was the culmination of the story, basically. Apparently, what happened is this guy, what's his fucking name? Hayes something? I have it written down. It's Hayes. Oh,
Hayes.
Cardell Hayes. Yeah, he was a semi-pro football player. They must have known each other, but apparently Hayes was out with some friends, and they had a couple cars. Like they had one car with Hayes and his friends, and they had another car in their entourage, and they were fucking with this guy, Will Smith, and his wife. Or maybe they got into an altercation, so they're like fucking with each other on the road, and then apparently Will Smith stopped short at a light quote unquote, according to Hayes' testimony. He stopped short at a light and crashed into the back of Smith's car. So then Hayes got out of the car and goes up to Smith like, why the fuck did you stop short? And shot him, apparently. So there was an altercation, but the police say they found a gun in Smith's car too. So right. The defense's argument is that he hit. They had a road rage situation. He hit him. He got out mad. Had a gun. Dude pulled a gun. So he happened to be the one who got shot. So that's the defense's argument.
He was reaching for his gun at the time.
Right, that's what he said. But I mean, in my opinion, if that altercation was happening, and like if you're in your car, you're protecting yourself. I mean, I can understand like what they're saying is that if you get hit and you get mad, and then if you have your gun on you already, especially if there was a prior altercation, you're like, oh, this could become a thing. I'm gonna bring my gun with me anyways as I go to confront this guy that just slammed on his brakes in front of me. But that still seems like you could have just not done that, and it would have led to no one getting shot in the face. But I mean, in the heated, I don't know he got shot in the face, but in a heated argument, I'm sure it could happen.
I'm just kind of like, why would that be your next move, though? Like, I'm gonna bring my gun with me.
Well, when I first started reading the story, well, I'm sure these guys, they probably already have guns with them. Honestly, especially like this guy's a semi-pro football player who is obviously friends with pro football players, so he's got an ego issue already. Right, that's a thing. He like thinks he's better than he is. I don't want to. I mean, he's on trial now. Fuck it, I don't care. But you would think he doesn't. He probably is. He wants to show face for himself. He wants to look like the bigger guy in the situation. So if he's out with his friends and this pro football player is out with his wife and then says some shit, I'm sure probably what happened. This is me. Guessing is that Smith was out with his wife eating somewhere, and this guy shows up, Hayes, with all his friends, and says something. Oh, look at this pro motherfucker sitting here with his shit. And then dude's like, really? You want to talk to me like this in front of my wife? Like, you got a problem, bro? And then that's how that would start from that altercation. And then they wind up in the street, and then that's how that happens. So, I mean, really, if you boil it back, it is entirely this guy's fault. But legally, in terms of that you don't just go chase somebody down for no reason, I would think. But, I mean, drunk people do stupid things. There's about to be a fight out here over some drunken people doing some things. Or they were talking... Sorry, I just laughed at my own joke that I passed the opportunity for. It says, Kevin O'Neal was in the car with Hayes. They were driving behind the Fresh Prince. I should have used because he's Will Smith. Anyways. And also, if it turns out that this guy did not, like he gets found innocent for... Oh, he's also facing, second degree murder charges for... His wife was in the car, and Hayes faces second-degree murder charges because she was injured in the process of the. Maybe she caught a ricochet or something like that. I always thought, I think that sort of shit's interesting. It brings me back to the thought of like Justin Bieber or any of these celebrities that have like so much. I guess I don't know if it's time and money or what it is, but what causes these people to go out and act a fool in public? In a way where, like, you're on a regular street, like they weren't in like South Harlem or anything like that. I don't know. It's interesting. I like these sorts of things. So I was thinking that if this guy Hayes comes away not guilty, because he was driving a big orange Hummer. So according to the story, Smith slams on his brakes and Hayes crashes into the back of him. So I was wondering if the guy is going to continue to drive Hummers after this trial, because apparently because he brake checked him. Essentially, that's what happened. Smith brake checked him, and Hayes' brakes didn't work. So I guess Hummers don't have good brakes, is what I'm getting at.
Or I mean, maybe he didn't have them replaced in time.
That could. Well, he's a semi-pro, so he probably doesn't make that much money. He can't. He already spent his whole contract on the Hummer itself. That probably has a fucked up front end now, because the other guy was driving I didn't write down what he was driving, but it was an SUV. It was those guys that want to drive their fucking dump-in SUVs. So I'm sure both people were at fault over this situation. But it's interesting to me that people would risk that. Like, so now there is a pro football player dead and a semi-pro football player, regardless of anything, the NFL is never going to pick this guy up, no matter what, whether he's innocent or not. They're never.
And the semi-pro career is probably over too.
Say again? Oh yeah,
Semi-pro.
yeah, exactly. Even if he's acquitted and it's not a thing, like you can't do that anymore. Sorry, bro.
So he'll never play for the Houston Argonauts again.
Is that a real thing?
I think so.
Is that who he plays for?
No,
Or
I
played?
don't know. I just made that up. It sounds like a team, though.
No, it does.
It sounds like a semi-pro
team.
team.
Yeah. So do the Jets, but you know. But
I
yeah,
like
so,
it.
Say again?
I like it.
Yeah, I do too. I don't even care, but I do like the jokes about it. That's another thing about sports. I laugh at sports memes even when they're not funny. Oh, I'm sorry. Even when I don't get them, they're always funny. I just like people talking shit about people. I enjoy it. So yeah, I mean, that news story really struck with me. I liked it. I thought it was funny. I pictured myself in the situation, like watching it, putting it on World Star, and just like these ridiculous ass motherfuckers. Like I don't know. I would, and another scenario that popped into my head that might have been happening is. What if, like, Smith didn't even realize these guys were behind him, and he's just arguing with his wife, and she's bitching at him like, how you gonna... Hello, Will.
What's up, brother?
How's it going?
What y'all talking about tonight?
Right now?
Yeah.
Not much.
He working, right?
A little bit of
It's a job.
sports news, some traveling drunks news.
Podcast. So that shit don't matter because y'all can edit that
kinds
shit
of
out and stuff like that. So it don't matter.
I can't hear
So
you.
you can't.
What's new?
Man,
They
where,
can't, they
man?
can't hear you either. That's why a microphone comes in.
On Facebook.
Could have sat down. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, we're doing good things here with the Traveling Drunks podcast. I like what we're doing. I hope in the next week we'll be able to report on. I'll do some more research because today I did this on a whim. Essentially,
We came up with this concept today.
yeah, today. And when we talked about it today, I went and I wrote some notes and I decided some things that I discuss. Throughout the week, I'll be a little more attentive into the individual podcasts that are happening. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out things that people say. Like I've made some comments that if it was somebody else doing it, I would pull some of my comments out and be like, whoa, hold on, bro. Like, you're going to need to, quote-unquote, explain yourself on this one here.
Absolutely.
So I think I'm going to incorporate the explain yourself with the week in review.
I think that actually would apply the best in
Right.
this show.
It would be the best way to put it. Because you can't explain yourself on the podcast, you're still doing the podcast, or the community cast, or whatever it is, or Art and Heart.
Right.
You're supposed to go with the flow. I would think in this situation, it's my job to be like, yo, explain yourself. And that's what I'm going to do. So, I tried to do it a couple times today, but I was having trouble with the YouTube, actually. It was cutting in and out when I was watching it a little earlier. I was trying to pick up on some little points and whatnot.
Okay.
And, so it was cutting out. It might be my Wi-Fi, to be fair. I've been having Wi-Fi issues at my house for a while.
That might be it. Because I've watched them like all the way through from YouTube.
Off your phone or off of
My laptop.
Okay, either way, just all the way through, it hasn't cut. So it's not the YouTube feed that's on there.
No.
I do like, by the way, that you put the dates on there. We were talking about that. The dates that they were shot. Because now I was like, oh wait, that wasn't this week. Because there were some funny things that happened last week too. Not the week that just passed, but the week before.
Agreed.
I didn't realize we're on almost a month and a half, almost 2 months of podcast now.
Is it really?
It was the beginning of November that we started doing them. So November, December, that's almost a full 2 months of podcast.
You're correct.
Yeah, on a weekly basis. So that's good. We have more to come from Traveling Drunks. Week in review every Sunday. I'm gonna be doing this. I think we'll do this on Sundays to fill the spot if it's a thing. If it stays at whatever, we'll figure it out. But either way, Pillow Talk with Josh and Corey will be on Mondays. We still have Art and Heart in the Corner on Sundays here at 12. They go on.
It'll be around 11 midnight.
Okay.
I'll make sure I make a post about it.
Heard. All right. And then community casts as they go on. Hopefully we'll have a bunch of good things to review next week. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Keep traveling, but don't do it drunk. Wait, do it drunk.